Hello there, investors and aspiring wealth builders. My name is Meg Moran. I'm here with your host, Leon Chastain, co-owner of DMI Holdings. You're here attending this webinar to learn about the staggering growth that is happening here in Texas and what that means for your investment opportunities. This presentation will make you a smarter investor, especially when it comes to alternative investments and seizing those prime opportunities that are available to you. So without further ado, let's hear from Leon Chastain.
We're so excited at DMI Holdings to bring this opportunity to you and share with you about investing in Texas. Touching again a little bit on myself, my name is Leon Chastain. I'm one of the co-founders of DMI Holdings. Eric Mattingly was the original founder of our corporation, late 2008, early 2009. One of the things that we've been so excited about bringing this opportunity to investors is that, we grew up here our whole lives. We've seen the massive amount of growth that's going on in the Texas market. And, when you've lived here and being an investor, business owner, and being able to take advantage of some of those things, it's different than if you moved here, or maybe you're just the person that was always taught to do stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and you drive back and forth to work, and maybe you've asked yourself, how do I get involved in this? Well, and how do I invest in Texas? How do I be a part of the growth that's going on in Texas? This is that opportunity with us here today. The next slide here is investing in the Texas market with DMI Holdings, and the Texaplex is a place that we gathered a lot of our data from. I actually think the growth is going to far exceed even these numbers here. And so this is where we gathered some of the data that we're going to be talking about today. It's called Texaplex. Very easy to go pull up out on the internet.
Right, Leon. And it was actually you that drew my attention to the Texaplex information. There are PDFs and videos out there. It really is amazing at the staggering growth that's here and that Texas is expecting to experience, hence the title of this webinar. But the way Leon has explained it to me, broken it down, has been really beneficial. And to really understand where we are and where we are going, it's imperative. It's imperative to your future decisions, your investing decisions particularly.
I can remember as a kid, my parents had, lived in a home in Farmers Branch, Texas, and my background is very humbling, but my granddad would take me to the dump ground and I would dig through trash to help make his living. And you would go east of I-35 and there was literally nothing there but just, people raising cattle in cow pastures and stuff. And then you watch the growth kind of jump over 635 and I-35 and the North Dallas Tollway and Central Expressway are the major three roads that go north. And they're literally saying the North Dallas Tollway will go all the way into Oklahoma over the next 20 years. And so as this growth just continues to come here, there is so much need for what we're bringing to investors today, the opportunity to be able have a way to invest in a business that has high-end concierge service all across. So, talking about the Texaplex Triangle, just in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex today, we have currently 7 million people. And they're estimating by 2030, 10 million people in Dallas-Fort Worth. And then you get to 2050, you're talking about just shy of 17 million people living here in DFW alone. And then you start talking and factoring that, hey, we've never seen in the history of our country to where we have had two wars going on. You've had a massive 100-year disease like COVID happen, and you've got people moving here from all parts of the United States to get away from higher taxes, to get away from things going on in their world. It just keeps coming to Texas. And so when you look at this, I believe Texas is gonna more than outperform the numbers that they're even giving us for the data, and the growth is just keep coming. And so, here in Salina where we live, they say Salina is going to be bigger than Plano and Frisco put together because there's so much more dirt up north here. The next slide here talks about, Meg, California's lost Texas gains. Last year, there was 102,000 California residents joined the mass exit to Texas. And it just keeps coming. Over 2 million jobs have been created in the Texas market since 2015. So when you start looking at those kind of things, and, we're talking about the freestanding emergency rooms here in North Texas that we're doing an expansion on. I've personally had experiences with my wife being sick and having to go to ERs. And you may spend 15, 18 hours in an emergency room before you can ever get even moved into a hospital room. Or you may sit in an ER for 3 to 4 hours before somebody sees you. In our freestanding emergency rooms, high-end concierge service, high-end ability to be able to be seen very quickly. A slide that we kind of stuck in here, it talks about, but change is scary sometimes to some people. Maybe this is a corporation that had been around 110 years. We want to address it as an example. And the reason I use this slide, you might say, why does this slide, what does it have to do with investing in ERs or anything like this? Well, this corporation, Stanley Cup, has been around 110 years. They were really designed for a company to make the working guy a cup that he could drink and keep stuff cold. Well, new audience, different things, different change, a little bit different. Somebody put this on social media. All of a sudden, it took off. Different colors started being made, and in 23, this company did $750 million in business. We're not saying you're going to see 7 times, 10 times gain overnight in investing with us, but doing something different than stocks, bonds, or mutual funds sometimes can be a little bit scary. But what we're bringing to our partners with our freestanding emergency rooms, we're actually bringing a business that's already open. We have a location open that me and my partner personally put up almost $2 million of our own money, open the business up so it can be open up and operational. And this investment is buying into that operation. And so I think that's a big deal there.
DMI wants to appeal to these kinds of savvy investors. This got with the Stanley Cup example, this new president, he came in, he listened to his team, he knew what was happening in the market. He saw this opportunity. They had never tried something like this before. He took a mitigated risk on advertising, gearing their advertising more to women. But the point is being a savvy investor and being able to recognize those opportunities.
Yeah, Meg, thank you so much. I love Meg's approach to this deal. People say buy gold. Well, it's funny. The only time you ever talk about somebody buying gold is when gold is at its all-time high. We're actually being able to step in and recognize opportunities and buy ER freestanding emergency rooms when it's not at its all-time high. We're going in and taking advantage of opportunities where maybe one was built by a group, they didn't run it right. We buy it at a massive discount to recognize that opportunity to then be able to bring it back and make it be very successful. And to Meg's point, being able to recognize opportunities as a savvy investor at that exact moment in time when something comes by to you like this, that's one reason we also take time to do tours in our freestandings, allow you to come see it in person, because we want you to be educated on the opportunity, Meg. Yeah, so the next slide here is literally presenting and talking about what the opportunity is. It's DMI's freestanding fund one. We're raising $10 million and investing capital and establish to acquire 2 to 4 more freestanding emergency room centers throughout North Texas, greater DFW area. This fund is for accredited investors only, and our minimum investment into this fund is $100,000. Hey, Meg, do you want to take this next slide?
Of course, what do healthcare consumers really want? Well, people desire a personal experience. And what you see here on this slide are four titles or categories. And by all means, do your own research. But what you're going to find at the very top every time is that this is what people are looking for when it comes to their healthcare: convenience. Those seeking out healthcare want the same level of convenience they've come to expect in their daily lives. It identifies with me. I'm sure it identifies with you. I'll leave it at that. Technology. In 2024, businesses which do not leverage the latest industry technology do not thrive. Healthcare consumers value the convenience and comprehensive diagnostic capabilities a tech stocked clinic provides. Patients visiting any emergency facility want a one stop shop, and we will talk more about this here in a few. Communication. We've seen in recent years a higher value placed on people's overall wellness. Patients want to be addressed directly and thoroughly regarding their health, not just their presiding symptom. So, somebody goes to the hospital for a COVID scare, a broken arm. What they are expecting is that their provider is going to be thorough and not just consider that ailment. If they see something else, they will address it and address it directly with the patient. If you see something, say something, right? Lastly, access to physician, and this is an important one, and I know Leon has more to add. While only having access to physician assistance is in healthcare settings becoming more and more common, it's not universally accepted or acceptable. People still want that access to their provider, to their certified physician. Patients want the security of knowing their diagnosis and treatment is being ruled by a licensed clinical physician. And Leon, go ahead. I know you've got something to say.
Yeah, Meg, one of the things that I'd like to really touch on, and it's close to my heart, is access to that physician. I personally, with one of my experiences with my wife, take her into the Frisco location. She has had issues over the last couple years, and her blood pressure is 220 over 128. And the doctor that happened to be on shift that day, he said, Leon, he says, everything you're doing, we got her here. I've got her stable. I want you to go back home and bring me every medicine that they've taken her off of. And I come back home, put a bag of stuff together, bring it back to him. When he was done with this, he did something that no other doctor had done. He took time to go through all these meds. He subscribed a medicine for her that if her blood pressure went over 180, that you could instantly take that and help bring the blood pressure back down. And that right there alone kept us from having to go back to an ER over and over again while she's going through this healing process. So access to that physician, like we've said, and you'll see coming up in a few slides in the future, is board certified doctors, board certified nurses, not some nurse practitioner, somebody learning. We actually have seasoned doctors and nurses there. And I think that says it all. Part of what we do with these facilities is our doctors actually buy in as an investor. So this is not a job to them. This is actually part of their business. So these doctors have skin in the game, and they not only want to see the patient be successful, but they want the business to be successful. Yeah. And so our next slide down, Meg, is we want to address is FSERs, providing cutting edge quality emergency medical care and operating like a five-star hotel. This is literally, we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. Board certified emergency room physicians. state of the art equipment, full clinical diagnostic, radiology, labs, pharmacy services. That's a huge difference when you come into the ER. Meg talked about it earlier. A lot of places you'll go into, you have to leave and go get your labs done and then take the labs back to your doctor when you go see your physician. Here, when you come into our facilities, if we do a CT scan, x rays, your labs, you leave with a copy of all of that information. So when you go see your local physician, you have everything that physician needs to make intelligent decisions.
At the same time, you're bypassing all the rigmarole and minutia that we've all come to expect from one hospital visit. Where do you park? What wing? What floor? Where is it? Where's the lab? So I go back to convenience because I know that's really important to me to have healthcare like this wrapped up in a convenient package is really cutting edge.
Well, when you talk about cutting edge, Meg, and I mean, a great point you bring up is, a lot of the hospitals you'll go to, you park here, and then the ER you park out front or you park in a parking garage, and you may have to walk a half a mile to get to the ER. Here, when you pull up, you go right into the waiting area. Somebody immediately takes control of the situation, gets you to a room, and I've been in hospitals where you got to go 3 floors down and 4 stories over just to get a cup of coffee. And I'm a coffee guy. And you mean, so, in every one of our facilities, we have coffee right there in the entryway. We've got snacks there. When you're in a time of need and your family member is hurting or you're personally sick, you don't want to go chase around looking for food or looking for something to calm your own nerves down. We have it right there. And not only, kind of back touching on, 5-star hotel. If you're hungry, we'll Uber food in for you. I'm playing the slide here is pediatric. Every one of our locations, we took the time to do one room, and that room was designed so that if a child comes into one of our facilities, is that child's comfortable. They're taking care of. I mean, if the kid wants to take a blanket home, let that child take the blanket home. It's about when a patient comes into ER of Texas, they are comfortable. They know they've been taken care of, and it's a one-stop shop. From if it's a trauma case, X-rays, CT scans, we need to get sonograms done. Whatever we need to do, we have the ability to do it at ER of Texas to take care of that patient. And to me personally, as a business owner in the business, using the business with my own family, it's a huge thing. I can't say it enough. Just to be able to know that you've got a lab in every location. And when you go there, and if somebody's got to take your blood and make sure you're taken care of, you don't have to leave. So, this is a very important thing convenience. And like I said, touching again, on site services and being able to have relationships with the board certified doctor.
Right. And I was just thinking, like, consider moms with infants or small children, even the elderly, but, consider parents with a 3-month-old and they have to go to the hospital. The peace of mind and security, knowing that you're going to get to a place, that you're going to be moved right through, that you're going to be seen by a professional licensed clinician, that your concern is going to be addressed and quickly and thoroughly. I can't think of any parents that would not call that a complete win.
And just the cleanness of, everybody that I speak with or we have conversation with, they always ask me, how come it's so nice here? We thrive on making sure our facilities are clean. We have a full-time cleaning staff that are in and out of our facilities all the time. And if our front office staff or the people in the back aren't doing their cleaning, they're moving, they're doing something to make sure your experience when you come in our freestanding emergency rooms, that, and when I say ours, our freestandings are owned by our doctors, they're owned by us and our investors. We want your experience to be the very best it can be and the cleanest experience you can have. The next thing, is feel the difference. It goes back, maybe I jumped a little ahead here, but feel the difference. Standard of care you can trust. Our facilities, every one of them are clean, comfortable, and convenience to everyone is a big deal. A state of the art facilities, zero wait time. Literally, when you address zero wait time, if you walk in the door and it is a situation to where it's life or death, it literally isn't, hey, let's do your paperwork. No, let's get you in the room, get a board certified doctor, board certified nurse that is literally going to be taking care of you, doctor to nurse at the same time. And then the quality of our doctors aren't just somebody that fell out of school yesterday. We've got guys that are seasoned, that really know what they're doing, and they care about that patient to get them taken care of and then move you through that process. And I think that's a big deal.
Oh, I've almost forgotten. What you see on the screen at the bottom of each slide is dmi.inv portal.com. That's where you can go and register to hear more about this opportunity that we're discussing today. You can also see more about DMI, their open and available investments. This is a secured portal where if you do become an investor, this is where you're going to get all your documents. This is where you're going to make your investments, track your investments. And again, Leon will touch on that a little bit later, but if you haven't registered, go ahead and do that. It takes just a second. There's no cost, no risk.
Yeah, and if you want to, like I said, we've said this earlier in this presentation. I mean, we do facility tours all the time. And so and we've got clients that have invested with us, or we've got clients that are thinking about investing it with us. Hey, it's very easy to come check out one of the locations near you. We really, want you to be educated as an investor and see what's going on at every one of our facilities.
And if anyone wanted to check up on DMI, on their track record, there's actually, of course, on the website, there's plenty of information, but there's videos, there's interviews with Leon and Dr. Megan Pierce. She is one of the doctors that is invested in this FSER fund opportunity. Do your own research. We're here to inform you and then, of course, facilitate that and answer any questions that you have.
Not only are they prime locations, but we had a plan to this all along. You know, Earlier in this video, you heard me mention about Central Expressway. Texas is the only place we can have three names for the same highway, but some people call it 75, some people call it Central Expressway, North Dallas Tollway, and I-35. If you go up to Sherman and it starts there and goes all the way into downtown Dallas, we circle over and get down into the lower part of North Richland Hills, and we circle even down a little bit further south into Mansfield, and then we start coming back up, and we basically do a big U around the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. There's a reason for that because eventually, if this business, when the time comes to sell it, that's how you make a huge multiplier by getting a 6, 7, 8x EBITDA and you sell the business. Well, at that time, you're so surrounded the major cities. If you wind up selling to a major hospital, well, now these businesses become feeders back to that major hospital. And we just seen an incident like this happen in Houston. A hospital bought up a bunch of locations to feed their hospital. So we had a plan from day one, and we're just beginning to see this plan come to fruition. And part about this business and the expansion of it is to do more, to edge in more to that Fort Worth side, edge into more of that Rockwall side, where all this major massive amount of growth is going on. This is an investor profile, guys. Hey, it's real simple. There's a standard Class A investor, those who invest less than $500,000 in the venture. You get a certain return on your money from immediately from day one. It pays you 5% of your investment on day one for the first 18 months. And then you participate in cash flow. You also are going to participate in profits up on sale. The next is a Class A preferred investor, who investors bring $500,000 or greater. There is a opportunity to get a 7% on your money for the first 18 months, and then you participate in cash flow off the investments. You do get a step up basis, and we'll go over that with you in detail. Once again, this is not the time to really go over the investment. We want to make sure you're educated at 110%. So going down, clicking on dmi.invportal.com, the business plan is there, the PPM is there, everything is there. We also want everybody to know, our disclaimer is there's no guarantees in anything, but this is an opportunity. We're not asking you to invest in a startup. This is a business that already is open up and operational, that every one of the partners put their money in to allow investors that are coming into this business to buy into an investment that is already up and operational. So, like once you check the portal, you register on the portal, you can go through, see a business plan, everything. Then you can schedule a time with me or one of the team members to walk through. So you're very educated on what the opportunity is investing in businesses in the Texas market. Take control of your financial future. So many times we've seen, let's go back to 2008 when we seen a crash in the market, that we seen the stock market go from 12,000 points to 6,000 points. And everybody was going, oh, what do we do? We're going to, we don't know. Well, we were always taught as kids coming up, our home is going to be a part of our retirement and everything. At that point in time, we've seen houses go down by 50, 60%. Investing in alternative investments, once again, no guarantees, but when you're investing in a business that's already open, up, and operational, odds are, if all we do is hit our downside performance, this will go over with it, it'll outperform the market. And so this is an opportunity to come in, be part of a business that does multiple things. You're investing in the Texas market. You're creating jobs in the Texas market. You're creating opportunities to serve the community. It's a big deal to us to be able to open up a freestanding in a community and serve that community, because of the caliber that we feel our doctors are, the caliber of our nurses, the 5-star hotel that we like to bring to a community. It's about taking care of the community. And I think our team at ER of Texas blows that out of the water at every location.
Yes, I was actually speaking to another investor this last week. He knows you, Leon, and thinks the world of DMI. But he was telling me about his shift into alternative investing, and he mentioned that in 2021, it was reported that alternative investments had grown to something like 13 trillion worldwide. And that's when he started to understand and discover that aside from stocks and bonds, there's alternative investments that can build your wealth and do so quicker with less hassle. And so he's been on this train, and I can tell he's never turning back.
Thank you so much for taking time to let us how to help educate you on DMI holdings. And if you're interested in investing in DMI's freestanding fund one, hey, there's a couple ways you can get a hold of us. Now, me personally, I'm old school. I like to talk on the phone. I like to set appointments. I like to tour. I like to be like our doctors, easy, user friendly to be work with. Or if you're more of that millennial, maybe that's not, maybe you like to only use the computer, you can go log in at dmi.invportal.com. You can have plenty of time to read over it, form your questions. We'll get your questions answered for you. You can even on that portal, you can directly go to that portal. You can never talk to me. You can download the accreditation letter, send it to your CPA, have him fill it out. You can do the paperwork, wire your money, never have to talk to anybody. We've made it so it's very easy. One thing you'll love about this portal is you're going to get reported to on a month-to-month basis. You're going to get reported on what's going on in the business. It's where you'll find a K1. If you're a seasoned investor, you know what a K1 is. And every year, major corporations fight to get these K1s out if you're in a limited partnership. And so we start in December informing you that we're working on it. And we try to have all of our K1s out and done before the middle of March. Sometimes they may run over a little bit, but we also have to do our own taxes as well. So we're focusing on getting K1s out in a timely manner. So, I just want to first of all thank Meg for taking her time to help us do this presentation today. Number two, I want to thank you as someone that is taking time to watch this video and learn more about DMI. Do something different than what you've done, versus just what we've all been taught our whole lives is to just be conservative, and we, watch the emotional roller coaster ride of the market go up and go down and hope it works out. Here, you got an opportunity to step out of that just a little bit. Know you're investing with a successful company that is literally making a change in communities. And so reach out to us once again via phone number, or you can go to our portal to learn more about us. Once again, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for watching this video.